Okay, as you can see, I'm on the WOC campus and I'm going to be collecting some plants today. This is an area near the maintenance shed that there's some weeds growing, so I'm going to see if there's anything I can collect here. Okay, so this plant right here, I can see it's fairly small. There's a few larger ones, like you can see one back there that's larger. There's one over here. But I'm going to go ahead and collect this plant. It has a flower spike on it, so that should help me identify it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right now actually it rained last night, so the ground's a little moist, and this is a good time to actually go collecting because it's easier to get the plants up. Notice I'm gonna grip it at the base, and I'm just slowly kind of wiggling it, very carefully. And sometimes if you get plants that are small enough, you might be able to get the whole thing with the roots. Now this one, pretty sure it's gonna have a tap root, and so it's going to be hard to get out. So what I'm going to do is get my pruning shears, and I'm just going to clip it at the base. Okay, so now I've collected my plant. Okay, so I brought some bags with me. You're going to want to bring bags with you when you collect plants so that you can put your specimens into a bag. This is a smaller one. You could use a larger one for your larger plants. So I'm going to put this in here, and when I collect the plants, I want to make sure that I'm going to have plenty of time afterwards so that I can put them in my plant press. Otherwise they'll get too wilted and dried out. Alright, so you have your card that you're going to fill out. Make sure you have these with you as well. Alright, so I have my card. I just filled it out. And so I'm going to put a number 1 because it's the first plant that I've collected, and we're going to say that I don't know the scientific name, the common name, or the family yet, because that's going to be probably fairly common for you, and so you can leave those blank for now until you can identify them later. The locality, I'm just going to put WOSC campus, and the habitat, I'm going to say it's a drainage ditch. And then you put your name as the collector and the date that you collected it, and then you'll put this inside of the bag. Okay. And then I just have a plastic sack that I'm keeping all my collected plants in for today. Okay, I found another plant that I'm going to collect. There were some of them that didn't have flowers, and they were, little small plants. Of course, this one is small too. But then I noticed that this one actually has some flowers. Now, they're closed up, so I can't see them, but at least it gives me a clue because they're kind of this purplish pink color, so that's better than not having any flowers at all. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this one as well. And again, it's small enough that I can just pull it out of the ground. And I got a little bit of the root, so I'm just, if that happens, which is fine, which sometimes is useful for identification, you'll just gently knock the soil off, or hit the side of your shoe, something like that, get some of the soil off, but try not to tear the roots up. Okay, so then I'm going to put that in my baggie. Okay, I have my next sheet already filled out, and it's plant number 2, so you can see I put a 2 there, and it's the same information because I haven't left this area. I just wanted to show you, I saw something interesting while I was out collecting the plants. There's some tracks, bird tracks in the mud, so I just thought that was kind of cool. So sometimes whenever you're out collecting, you'll get to see, neat things. Okay, so my next plant, I'm going to collect this one here, and it doesn't have any flowers on it. So I looked around. There's several of them growing here, and I haven't seen any flowers on any of them, but I'm gonna go ahead and collect it anyway. So right now I'm just trying to find, a base for it, so that I can pull it out and get the whole plant. Okay, all right, so there's my plant. That's going to be plant number 3. I'll put that in my baggie with my card. Okay, you can also collect grasses. So I saw this one, and it has a flower head on it, and so that's going to help identify it anytime that you have the flower heads or seed heads. Like, see this one here, it's not, the flowers are not ready yet, but it has they're getting there. But this one, I can see it already has the flowers on it, so I'm going to put that in my baggie too. Okay, trees are very good to collect from as well. So what you'll do is you're going to try to get the branches. I'm going to show you. So first, just kind of look at oh, sorry, there was a mosquito on my shoulder. Look at the overall shape of the tree, the size of it, and you'll want to make notes of that. Okay, you can also make note of the bark, because that can help when you're identifying later. So you'll want to make some notes about the color and the texture of the bark, or maybe if you have a phone, you can take a picture of the bark and just make sure that you keep track of, if you're taking pictures, keep track of what plant this is that you collected. Otherwise, later on, if you're looking through your pictures, you might forget which picture goes with which plant you collected. So somehow save them in a folder or label them. So to collect it, all we need to do is just get we're just going to use the pruning shears to get us a sample. Okay, so here's my sample that I collected. Notice it's fairly large because you can take up plenty of room in the plant press, and so you can get you a nice big sample as long as it's not bigger than the plant press. But also you want to make sure that you can see the arrangement of the leaves, like so, because here, let's see if I can get it into focus. Okay, but you can see the arrangement of the leaves on here, which these are alternating leaves, and they're simple with a tooth margin. And so we're going to collect this one, and so this will be my plant number 4 I would put in my collection. Now if this had any kind of flowers or fruits with it, I would also collect those as well. Okay, so I saw this tree and I noticed that it had what looks like maybe some fruits on it. If I didn't know what this tree was, I'd be like, what is this? So that may help me to identify it. So I can take a sample of this as well. And so I'm just going to take this right here. And that will be my next plant. Okay, I found another plant that has flowers on it, so I thought, ooh, I'm going to collect this. It looks very similar to a plant that I already collected, but I can tell that it's not the same plant because the leaves are hairier and also the stem is really hairy as well. So I'm going to go ahead and collect this one. It seems like it's fairly large. It has a base back there. There are some smaller ones, but I think I'll go ahead and I'll collect the larger one, because sometimes the larger ones are easier to identify, and I have the space in my plant press, so I might as well. Okay, my last plant I'm going to collect for today is from this tree. Let me back up so that you can see all of it. Okay, so I know it's an evergreen tree, and I noticed that it looks like it has, what appears to be maybe fruits on it, some berry-like structure. So I'm going to take a sample of this. Okay, so you can see I have my plants. I am going to now put them in the plant press, but that probably took me about 15 minutes, and I was able to get 7 plants just here on campus. And there's lots more that I did not collect, so you can actually get a lot of plants just on campus. And it won't take you very long.